Okay, starting with 2014 question number 7. Explain the major role of the government in a market economy. I'm skipping this. Can you give me the first paper that I discussed this? Refer back to 2011. Question number. Role of the government. Or the third time that this question came. Hold on, give me 1 second. My battery is running low. 2011 question 7 part 1. Right. Okay. So you can refer to the 2011 paper question 7 part 1 YouTube discussion if you jump the YouTube video from the middle. So talk about efficient allocation of resources, ensuring equitable income distribution, minimizing macroeconomic instability, promoting economic growth. That story you can write. Then Lamai, number 2. Classify government expenditure according to the economic classification. How do you classify? Very easy. No, I don't know why they are giving 5 marks. Now, so government expenditure, how do you classify Lamai? Based on the economic classification, there is what are the main 2 types? There is recurrent expenditure, the expenditure that happens on a day-to-day basis, okay, continuous expenditure, and there is capital expenditure. Okay, capital expenditure. You can give net lending if you want separately, but ideally capital expenditure and net lending you can give it together. Okay. Then Lamai, under recurrent expenditure, what are the main types? What are the main types? You have expenditure on goods and services. Under expenditure on goods and services, what is the main one? We discussed this even before. What's the main one under this? Under this, you can talk about salaries. Okay. Then you have interest payments, payments, and then you have transfers. So you have transfers also. There is transfers to households, right? I'll just say T to households, and there is also Lamai transfers to Kaudan. You can also talk about the current transfers and subsidies. Yes, you can transfers to corporations. So this you can reword it better. You can say current transfers and subsidies. Okay, done. Then this one, capital expenditure and net lending. How can you do this? They give transfer to government. So this is government giving transfers to corporate. Government expenditure. Government doesn't give it to government. Okay. Yes, other government institutions. Now, so you have acquisition of real assets. Okay, so acquisition of real assets, and what else? And you have capital transfers. So those kind of things, Lama, if you have shown this breakdown, how it is classified, it's more enough. You can either show it in a graph format like this, or you can write headings and you can show. As long as you have shown that, you should get your 5 marks. It's a very easy question. They are only asking classify. No, you don't have to go into detail and go. There's another subcategory under this one, provision for under expenses. That is the net lending part only. Even if you don't put that, it's okay. The provision for under expenses. That's the net lending capital transfer combined. Okay. Now, then we'll go to question number 3. What are the main sources of financing the budget deficit of Sri Lanka in the recent past? Overall, what are the sources, Lamai? I'll just draw this whole thing for you. Okay, so financing the budget deficit. So we have deficit. I'm hoping you all remember the methods of financing the budget deficit. So deficit financing, there are 2 main ways. You have domestic sources, okay, or you have foreign sources. So if you look at foreign sources, Lamai, what will first finish foreign and come? Foreign sources, what do you have? You have foreign grants, right? What are grants? Grants are money that you just get. You don't have to repay. Okay. Then you also have foreign loans, Loans, there are two types, foreign loans. What are the two types of foreign loans? You have concessionary loans. Okay, you have concessionary loans. Those are the ones that are given at a long concessionary. That's like our IMF loan that we have got. Okay, we have concessionary loans and we have commercial loans. I'll just say com there. Okay, concessionary, or you can say non-concessionary, or you can say commercial loans. Then after that, Lama, if you go to domestic sources, how do you divide this? Domestic, you have market, right? Market is where you sell something and get, that is ideally by selling like a treasury bill or bond. And then you have non-market loans. So non-market loans, not very common in Sri Lanka. Those are like non-administrative loans, non-market. Okay, sorry, non-market. Then under market, what do you have? Under market, you have borrowing from the banking sector, banking, and the non-banking sector. So banking sector, who and whom do you have? Banking sector, you have commercial banks, I'll just say Combi, and you have the central commercial bank and the central. Non-banking, who and whom do you have? You have the National Savings Bank, you have EPF and ETF, you have the insurance companies, right? So these are the sources. So from all of these, Lama, now these are the sources. No, this is not what they're asking, right? They are asking what are the main sources in the recent past. Now 2014 might be a little bit old. I don't know what your paper says, right? So if you look at Sri Lanka in the recent past, that is in, let's say 21, 22 km, okay, foreign loans have been out. Right? We were not able to get foreign loans. Why? Because of our credit rating. Sri Lanka's credit rating has been downgraded. No? Remember, after COVID and all, our credit rating with Gota coming in, him reducing taxes and increasing expenses, credit rating went for a 6. So we were not able to issue sovereign bonds or anything and raise money. So foreign loans in the last 2 years, that is 2020, 21, 22, has not been there. So I'll put this one also. 2020 to 22, there has not been foreign loans much. So then in that case, where did we finance our money? Grants also we didn't really get. Non-market sources are not there. Grants also no one gave us. We mainly got our things. We first tried to use the non-banking sector. We got all the money from National Savings Bank, EPF, ETF, but then these also ran out, Lamai. They also have a limited amount of money. No, you can't keep on doing that. No. Then mainly what happened is during the last 2 years, we relied on the banking sector. So whenever the government had a budget deficit, whenever they wanted money, one thing they did is they issued treasury bills and bonds to the central bank. That's what you call money printing. No? The government's treasury issues a treasury bond to the central bank prints money and gives it to the treasury. That's what happened. So remember guys, central bank and government are two people. Huh? Government has someone called the treasury. Central bank is another person. So treasury giving a bond only, that's why we call it treasury bond. Treasury selling a bill, we call it treasury bill. That's how the word treasury comes. So government's treasury wants money, they give you a treasury bond. Central bank takes that and prints money and gives it in return. So that's what has been happening. And also even commercial banks, they have been issuing treasury bills and bonds to commercial banks and primary dealers for them to come and buy. So mainly this has been the thing in the last 2 years. And remember guys, borrowing from the banking sector is inflationary. Now you saw that impact, no? In the last 2 years, we saw how inflation rise so high, no? So you can highlight those, Lama. You can highlight that foreign loans and all we were not able to get because of the fact that there is a credit rating downgrades. But however, now we have got one, no? In 2023, we have got concessionary loans from whom? We have got a concessionary loan from the IMF, the World Bank is helping, ADB is helping. Okay, we have got those. That is now. In the last 2-3 years, no one was helping. Okay. can we issue credit bonds? Credit bonds in the sense international sovereign bonds. We can issue, but at a very high interest rate. So we won't issue because our credit ratings are very low now. So now if we issue a sovereign bond or something, we'll have to issue it at, let's say, around 30% interest. So 30% interest issuing a bond means you're almost killing yourself. So you will wait. IMF feels by somewhere around 2027, we should be able to issue a sovereign bond at a proper interest rate. I also feel that is realistic. Right now we can't. 2023, so we have to wait for another 4 or 5 years to issue a international sovereign bond at a reasonable interest rate at around 7-8%. To issue that, we'll have to wait because our credit ratings have to improve. Because remember, guys, when your credit ratings are low, means that's high risk. So high risk means investors want a high return. Investors are not going to come and put their money in a very risky Sri Lankan sovereign bond when they are paying only 7% interest. So investors will say, okay, I know your country is very risky. Your credit rating is also very low. So if you're issuing a sovereign bond now, I want 30%. So giving 30% interest, guys, you're almost killing yourself. So they will not do that now. Okay. Borrowing from the bank sector is the only inflationary source, right? Others are not. Banking is inflationary. Even foreign loans to some extent can be inflation. Foreign loans and these things. Not a big inflation impact, can have some sort of inflation. Grants are non-project loans. Grants are not non-project loans. Grants can be for projects also. Now, for example, there are some grants that we are getting from not grants, like foreign direct investments really coming in. There is a on the energy sector these days, money is coming. No, IMF doesn't give loans according to credit rating. They come and they help. That's a concessionary loan. These commercial loans, that is the other China, India, even us issuing sovereign bonds, yes, IMF, we need to repay. It's a concessionary loan. So longer repayment period, small amounts, very low interest rate, we need to repay. Okay, that's 3. Then Lamai will go to 4, last one. Okay, this one we did it in the mock exam series also last night. The recent trends of public debt in Sri Lanka. So remember, I have shown you all the numbers, Lamai. Here, the public debt to GDP. Here, overall, is the debt. Okay. Total public debt to GDP. So you can talk about central government. Remember, guys, central government debt and public debt are 2 different things. Okay. Central government debt is the total debt by our government, right? Our government. Now there are also our state-owned enterprises, Nilamai. The Ceylon Electricity Board, the Petroleum Corporation. Those fellows also take loans now. Sometimes government has to help them also. Then they have to provide guarantees and they have to take those loans onto themselves. That's what we call here public guaranteed debt. Public guaranteed debt. So public debt is the total of all of this. Central government debt is one thing. Public debt is another thing. So ideally on your end, maybe main thing is outstanding central government debt. But when you are writing, write it clearly, Lamai. When you're talking about debt, don't say our debt is 113%. What? Central government debt as a percentage of GDP in the year of 2022 is 113.8%. So to be very careful. Don't just say debt is 113.8. Doesn't make sense. Be very specific. What debt? Central government debt. 113 is what? As a percentage of GDP. Which year? 2022. According to what? According to the 2022 Central Bank report. You can say that also. So you can say according to the 2022 Central Bank report, the public debt or the central government debt to GDP ratio of Sri Lanka is 113.8%. Okay. Foreign project loans, guys, this is received by the state-owned business enterprises. Now, for example, even let's say our Ceylon Electricity Board, they might get loans from other countries. They directly can apply for loans and for different projects. Let's say Electricity Board wants to come up with a solar system for the country. So they can get directly, rather than the government getting the loan for them, they can get the loan for them and do it. That's what you call foreign project loan is received by SOB, state-owned business enterprise. Okay, so these numbers, Lama, you will have to highlight. For the MCQ paper 21, 22, have an idea of both. You can't say what they would ask. Usually, the normal trend is 23 A levels should be asked from the 21 central bank report. But now, since A levels are being postponed and all, they can even ask from the 2022. And a lot of things have changed from 21, 2022. So 21 is a lot of outdated if you're writing 21 numbers. Okay. Now, even 22 numbers are kind of outdated. Okay. So these numbers you need to have an idea, Lamai, right? 78.4, 81.9, 96.5, 100, right? You can talk about how the debt, central government debt reached 100% in 2021. Right? That means our debt was equal to our GDP. And then it continued increasing. So you need to say that it has been rapidly increasing. And in addition to that, Lama, you can talk about, have they given, yes, even if you look at the breakdown of loans, Lama, even look at this, yes, loans, the breakdown, these Lama just have an idea, okay? They can ask, I'll just highlight here. Multilateral loans. What are multilateral? Multilateral Lamai, what the loans that you get from different organizations. So they can ask you certain multilateral organizations that Sri Lanka can get loans from. Here, ADB, Asian Development Bank. Then this is Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. I'm not very sure what this stands for. You can do a Google search, right? These are all there. Then who are bilateral ones? Bilaterals are countries, guys. Okay. So bilaterals here, Canada, China, France, Germany, India. You have the Export Import Bank of India. You even have here Export Import Bank of China. Did you all see in the news recently for our debt restructuring? These fellows have agreed. Right? So in China also, so many banks are giving us loans. You have the Exim Bank, you have the People's Bank in China, you have the Chinese Development Bank. All of these fellows are giving us loans. Okay. Then here, main three are whom, guys? Main three is China, India, and Japan. Those are the main three. Apart from that, the other countries who have given us loans, here there is Saudi Arabia, there is USA, there is France, Germany, Canada. They also have given loans. To find what is the main one, Lama, look at the number. Yeah. Easy. China is here. China is the biggest number, 2506020. Then from that, under that only these are there. Then if you look at India, that's also comparatively big, no? That's around 600 and here. Then Japan is also somewhat big. Japan is on 977. So you can figure out who are the top 5 people, who are the all of that you can do. Because in case they give you like a MCQ, we should know. There was a MCQ, I think, in one of the recent papers we discussed. Okay. Now why did I go there? Okay. Question. Recent trends, guys. So when they're talking about the recent trends, you can talk about the central government debt. Okay, so the central government debt to GDP. So give some numbers and explain. Now you can't just say central government debt to GDP increased. Doesn't make sense. Give some numbers, saying even give a whole number, guys. That's also better rather than just talking about 2 years. Say in 2017 or 2018, it was already this much. Now it has gone up by this much. Okay, in the last 2 years, it has been going up by this. And also you can talk about the fact that we our foreign debt, right? Foreign debt, we defaulted on that. Okay, you can talk a little bit about that. Okay, and then even domestic debt and foreign debt, both of it, we are restructuring those. So you can talk a little bit about those are all the trends in the public debt. Okay, you give some numbers, you talk about those, it's fine. Public finance issues mainly not needed. It's mainly since it's the recent trend one, they don't really want the issues for you to show, has it been increasing, has it been decreasing, what were the numbers. If you can show that, it's more than enough. Just to maybe back up your answer, you can give some issues, but don't talk too much about the issues. That means you don't know what you're writing, kind of. Okay. Now, mock people go through the thing that I would have given you in the paper. Right. So with that, we'll call it a day for today. And we've done 4 papers. We'll do another 4 next class, another 4 after. Then in another 2 classes, we can finish off all the papers and we are done. Okay, so with that, we'll wrap it up, guys. I'll let you all know when I will have the next few classes. Okay, so with that, I will mock exam people. I'll see you all on Sunday morning for your doubt clearing session. Rest, I will see you all next day for your past paper class. See you and have a nice day. Yeah, bye bye.